Hey, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to talk about batteries. I get asked this question a lot of what is the best battery and what should I be buying for my lawnmower? There's a lot of things that go into that, okay? It's not just simply going out and buying a battery. If it was only that simple, right? If you're running a lot of the older machines, you can get away with the 230 crank amp batteries at Walmart. I do not sell batteries, so just understand that. But for those that are running the 230, you don't have electric PTO, you probably don't have headlights, a lot of other stuff. The more gadgets you have on that mower, the more draw on the, the battery itself. And a lot of times your stator that's on top of your flywheel is trying to maintain and keep the battery at where it started the machine at. But if you're running a 230 and you're running like a 25 horse Kawasaki engine, you got electric PTO and you got electric deck that you can raise and lower. This 230 is not going to hold up. It won't. You aren't getting enough battery in there to do all those things. And you're going to say, well, I don't do them all at once. I understand that. But what I can tell you is a lot of times people think they're having problems with their PTO clutch. And it's so far from the truth. What ends up happening is the battery isn't there enough to maintain the system, even with the stator and the regulator putting juice back into it to maintain what they need to run this PTO. So what ends up happening is you run low voltage to it, but most PTOs will just stop working. And you're thinking, well, now I have to go buy a PTO clutch, right? Not necessarily. If you take and put a charger on that battery and charge it to full charge, and you could do this if you can get the connectors underneath the battery. It's even better if it's under the hood. Leave the charger right on it, start it up, and then hit your PTO, because now you're getting a lot of juice coming in, right? That PTO will normally kick on and stay on. And how do I know that? Because my John Deere zero turn has been kind of having problems with the charging system. It ended up being a simple fuse. That fuse stopped the regulator and the stator from charging the battery. So it was drawing on just the battery. And I mowed just so far. And not only did the PTO quit first, but then the mower quit because it didn't have enough juice from that battery because it was sucking it dry. In all reality, it wasn't the battery, it wasn't the PTO system, it wasn't an issue with the lawnmower, it was an issue with the charging system itself. So, my rule of thumb is when people are asking me what battery to get, I always say figure out what you need and then get one bigger. Now, I just bought a used John Deere 777 and it's a bigger Kawasaki engine on it. It's got electric PTO. It's got a 61-inch deck that clutch is spinning around. And if I would have gone with the 230, I'd have gone too low in cranking amps. There's a limitation too of the size of the battery and the battery box, right? But if you look on these, they will tell you, the U1. Let me get my glasses on here quick. But this one here says it's a 230 cranking amp, cold cranking amp. And the other thing that I want you to look for is this sticker. When you're at Walmart and you're looking at batteries, even if you're at Tractor Supply, there should be a sticker on there of how new that battery is. If you go and buy a battery and it's, what is it, like 5 of 24, that battery is 2 years old already. And you're wasting money as far as I'm concerned because you've lost 2 years of that battery being set on a shelf somewhere before it actually got sold. So I also look for that sticker, the date code on it. When was this made? I want something fresh that's going to last, okay? So first thing first is you got to decide size wise. So you want to measure your battery or take it with you. Secondary is how many cranking amps. I always say the more the merrier. If you've got, a cheap Murray or MTD Troy built single cylinder, you can get away with a 230. You can, especially if it's got the hand engagement for your PTO instead of having an electric clutch. Those entry level machines are usually all mechanical, which is hand done, right? The other thing that you want to be really conscious about, and this happens to a lot of people, is they go out in the spring of the year and either the battery's got just enough juice to turn it over a couple times and start clicking, or just click. And the automatic thought is, okay, I guess I gotta have a new battery. That freaking thing didn't last, But in all actuality, the battery's fine. It's just it got down low. And what we do here at the shop for our customers and even other people have stopped to ask about a battery. And what I'll do is we have a battery charger that goes up to, I think it's 600 cranking amps. And what I do with those batteries that are showing zilch or a little bit of nothing is I'll start them with the high rated charge for 5 to 10 minutes, the boost. And then once I hit that sweet spot, then I'll take it back down into the 40 or 30 amps and let it go for 3-4 hours. And then I'll drop it down to either the 5 or the 2 to sit on it overnight. I would have to say 9 out of 10 batteries that come in here that people think it's time to get a new battery don't need a new battery. They just needed a deep charge on that battery to bring it back. The other thing that you need to look at is the biggest thing is price, because these here I think are like $35, and if you go up to the 300, they're like $50. If you're running one of the newer machines like the Simplicities, the newer Husqvarnas, the John Deeres, any of them that have the electric PTO, some of them have the electric lift and lower of the deck that draws from the battery. Most people don't use their headlights while they're mowing. I don't. And when you're trying to pick out that right battery, make sure that you take all those things into consideration. But before you do that, make sure that the old battery is actually toast before you go spend good money and turn in your good battery. It just needed a deep charge. If you don't have a battery boost, where it has the different levels, we have 3 of them, and we can do 6 volt or 12 volt. And we just kick it on to 12 volt. We give it, where you would normally crank it, because that's like 600 cranking amps. Leave it there for 5-10 minutes and then drop it back. If you have a battery charger that goes up to 300 for boost, do the 300 for 10-15 minutes and then drop it back into the 30-40 range for 5 to 10 hours. And then let it sit for a day without anything hooked to it. Take it out, put it in your lawnmower, and if it turns that lawnmower over and everything's good, you're golden. So on that note, if you're this far, if you haven't liked and subscribed, it would be greatly appreciated. So on that note, you guys have a great day.